From the first time I did yoga, loved yoga, and I didn't know why. And this course has helped me find that out. And it's just deepened my practice in so many ways.
I think it's made me more aware of myself and then my kind of space in community and not putting so much pressure on myself with things. It's just kind of, everything's just seemed to have slowed down. I feel like I've learned a lot more about myself than I ever knew, and that a lot of people go through similar, like we're all human. I've learned a lot about our humanity, I feel, and to be kind to yourself about that.
My name's Deepa, and I am the principal teacher and owner of Yogic Wisdom. I was actually a student myself with Yogic Wisdom. I first started learning yoga with our founder Kim back in 2010. And from being a yoga student, I then did yoga teacher training, also with Yogic Wisdom. So it's just such a privilege. The same school in which I have learnt yoga and learned to teach yoga, I now get to also support new teachers in learning yoga. And yoga is a beautiful gift that I have received and that we all have received here at Yogic Wisdom. And it's not one that is owned by anyone. Yoga is a tradition that has been passed down for thousands and thousands of years across teacher and student for thousands of generations.
It's almost like, the philosophy and the science of yoga is so ancient that I actually believe we all know it at some level. So it's such a beautiful experience to remember it.
I think for me, the best thing about this course has been it's not just about the poses. I've learned so much more about the traditional aspect of yoga.
Yeah, I always thought when you look at Instagram, it's about difficult poses. Just come on and you realize it's not about asanas. It's more about, bringing peace and calm in your life.
Philosophy has been amazing, and I love that it's something that you learn with your teacher. So it's something that you learn a little bit, you discuss, you pull it apart, and then it sinks in deeper as you take it away. That's been really profound.
What used to makes me think, it's like asana is why we start dating yoga, and the philosophy is why we decide to get married to yoga.
And I've really enjoyed the anatomy. Coming from a science background, I've enjoyed looking at it from a different perspective, but it's not presented in an unreachable way. It's related directly to all of the yoga that we're doing as well, so it's really easy to remember.
But I just need to say something about asanas as well, like the regular practice, just 20 minutes a day. My body feels amazing too, so just one for the asanas.
And there's lots of love for all the subjects.
Maybe we won't say more just about the asanas, but the asanas have helped, and my body is just feeling really good at the rate.
One of the things I love about our course is our teachers. We have such an incredible, heart-centered group of teachers who are so extremely talented in all of the areas that they teach in.
So I support the students on the Central Coast throughout the whole year, but also teach in particular the mental health module and the asana classes and starting a yoga business. I've done a diploma in counselling and I have studied yoga therapy with Yogic Wisdom as well, and I'm really interested in combining yoga with mental health and supporting people with their mental health through the benefits and tools of yoga.
I am going to be the coordinator for the Newcastle division of Yogic Wisdom. I've always loved teaching. It's been in every facet of everything I've done throughout my whole life. I'll be teaching a lot about course planning and how to construct a class really beautifully so that students can go away and feel confident to teach a class and be safe in the way that they do it and really creative in their practice.
I have been involved with Yogic Wisdom for nearly a decade now, so many years. And I teach the physical asana component and the pranayama techniques in the course. The legacy I want to leave for the students is for them to gain an understanding of themselves through the many aspects of yoga, through understanding their bodies better and exploring the asana and learning how to teach that, but also realising that yoga goes beyond that.
We cover the whole body, breaking it down initially, but then building it all up and looking at the interdependence of everything and interconnectedness of all the systems and bringing it back to a holistic understanding. I also try and link the anatomy to every other subject that is taught in yogic wisdom, the philosophy, the breath work, the meditation, the pregnancy, the seniors. It's all like the body, interconnected.
So I'll be co-teaching anatomy with Annie, and I've got a lot of anatomy experience from my physiotherapy background and education, working with all different conditions, I suppose, people's illnesses and injuries, and the recovery from that as well. Grateful for yoga because it's always been there for me. It's been a touchstone and it's carried me through ups and downs of life. And I'm just so excited to share this gift with other people.
I teach the kids module for Yogic Wisdom. I work at a public school in the Upper Hunter and teaching kids yoga there. You can see kids who have come to yoga thinking, oh, I don't want to do yoga, when it's a whole class thing, so they have to go. And then come and tell me later that they loved yoga so much they went out and bought a yoga mat so they could practice at home. And I'm like, oh my heart.
I'm teaching Sanskrit and chanting, and my history since childhood I'm doing chanting. Like with my grandfather, I used to chant. We used to chant together. And now, till now also we chant. I chant a lot of mantras, every different mantra every day of the week. Chanting makes me joyful and it makes me very, very happy. And I love it. I learned in my childhood that Sanskrit was one of my most favorite subjects. And I like Sanskrit is like a science. It has, like when you chant, every word of that sentence or every alphabet of that word is basically have a meaning. So I love about it. And it looks hard, but once you know it, it is very easy to learn.
One of the questions I get asked a lot is, I can't touch my toes, or I'm old. I had a call the other day going, I'm at the mature side of life. I don't know if this is for me. And I'd really like to embrace that question up front. You're never, ever too old. And yoga is about accepting where we're at and doing and fitting the yoga into our lifestyle and where we are in life. So we've had students from our oldest students being 74 down to 17. So we've had students of all ages, and we embrace everyone no matter whom you are. So if you're thinking, is it for me? Reach out, have a chat to us, because everybody is welcome.
So as your principal teacher, you're going to be seeing a lot of me. I will be, along with Miranda and Sarah and Joe, supporting you with learning the fundamentals of asana throughout the year and the fundamentals of pranayama, which are breath work. I will also be supporting you in learning yoga philosophy. And so in the yoga philosophy, we go from the history of yoga as a living tradition. There's an ancient text called the Yoga Sutras, so we go through components of that and learn about the different kind of yogic practices that are there and the different kind of observances that can help us progress on the path. We also learn about what I call yogic anatomy. That often is people's favorite because you're learning about energy and prana and chakras and nadis. And, at the beginning, those things can feel a little new or out there a bit. But part of the goal is for all of this philosophy to not be theoretical, but to be experiential. For our student teachers to actually learn about how they can notice the prana, the life force, and how they can support their students in learning and growing in that area.
In my role supporting new students with their inquiries, it's really important to share with them the structure of the course, how it's set up in a way that it can
work alongside your everyday life. So a mix of online and in person. So what's different about the Yogic Wisdom course is it's a 350-hour diploma of yoga teaching, which means that it's structured over the whole course of the year. So it's not a quick couple of weeks away on a retreat, which then you might come back and feel it's really hard to integrate and actually start teaching and take forward and slipping back into old life, old habits, and not having space for that transformation to continue. So the 350-hour course enables people to learn alongside life and end the year with a really robust understanding of each of the different chapters of yoga, from philosophy, pregnancy, mental health, all the way to starting their own business at the end of the year.
So Yogic Wisdom's yoga teacher training is a 350-hour diploma that's registered with Yoga Australia. And Yoga Australia is Australia's peak yoga body for yoga teachers and yoga teacher trainings and yoga schools. For us to be registered with Yoga Australia means that when our teachers graduate, they also are eligible to register with Yoga Australia as well. And what benefits it gives them is they get to be part of a national community of teachers where they can A, learn from each other, B, they can share their information and promote, whatever they're doing, whether they're teaching or running a course through that. But I think most importantly, it's a body that provides further education or provides guidance on further education. Because to do teacher training once actually isn't enough for us to keep teaching for a long period of time. Yoga is evolving like every other field, and it's important that we actually keep up to date in our skills and our credentials, and to really continue to remain and be really well qualified to do the work so that we can really serve and support our students.
For me, a huge part of feeling like I could do it is who is doing it, who is on this journey. And I can see that connection extending way beyond when we graduate.
I had a teacher before mentioned this quote to me. He said, "If you do yoga once a week, you'll change your body. If you do it twice a week, you'll change your mind. But if you do it every day, you'll change your life." So that has been my experience of the gift and the impact of yoga on my life.
Yoga is this living tradition that we have been gifted with. And when we receive this gift, it lights up this flame, it lights up this light within us that we can then share with those around us. And as teachers, especially as teachers who get to train other teachers, it's a light we pass on to other teachers to be able to offer to their students.